Forget what you think you know about tombs and treasure. The ancient Egyptian tomb was not a museum piece. It was a machine. A machine built to keep secrets long after a king had died. For centuries, we chased gold and statues, bright, easy proofs of power. But beneath the gilding lay traps, bargains, and funerary engineering far more cunning than we imagined. Take the corridors, sloped, narrow, designed to disorient intruders, not accidental architecture, deliberate psychology.
Wall paintings weren't mere decoration. They were instructions, Toe, spells from the Book of the Dead.
Wall paintings weren't mere decoration. They were instructions, spells from the Book of the Dead, written to guide the dead and confuse the living. In some tombs, false doors and hollow pillars hid secret chambers. The prize sat behind a lie. And sometimes the treasures themselves were traps, boxes with hinges rigged to collapse, doors lined with sand that would pour and bury an intruder. But the cleverest designs were social, not mechanical. Tomb inscriptions recorded not only rituals but debts, promises, and threats, binding families to silence. A single line carved in stone could ruin a rival's claim. Generations later, the dead became legal witnesses. Then there are the plundered graves that tell the opposite story. Hurried concealments, reburials, and men desperate enough to bribe their way past guardians. Recent finds show scribes deliberately erased names and repainted scenes to confuse looters, an early form of historical redaction.
Here's the shock. Some mummies were not for kings at all. They were bodies dressed as royal.
Here's the shock. Some mummies were not for kings at all. They were bodies dressed as royalty, decoys to protect a true royal tomb nearby. Imagine a fake coffin, sealed and gilded, drawing looters while the real king rested elsewhere, in silence. The archaeologists call this ritual substitution. To us, it reads like subterfuge, survival dressed as piety. And sometimes the dead kept secrets on purpose. Papyrus scrolls folded and hidden inside statues, tiny notes that reveal court intrigue, inheritance disputes, even poisoning plots. One letter found tucked under a mummy's wrappings instructed heirs to burn certain accounts, a late attempt to erase shame.
We think of tombs as endings. The Egyptians built them as instruments of continuity, legal, spiritual, and political.
We think of tombs as endings. The Egyptians built them as instruments of continuity, legal, spiritual, and political.
New technology, micro-CT scans, spectral imaging, now peels away paint without touching a blade.
New technology, micro-CT scans, spectral imaging, now peels away paint without touching a blade. Hidden inks glow, secrets surface, and with every secret revealed, our picture of ancient life grows stranger. Accountants, lawyers, spies, all present in the afterlife. So the tomb was a record, a trap, and a testament. Stone that remembers when people wanted certain truths to survive and others to die. The true shock is this: what we call looting was sometimes the only way a family could reclaim a lost legacy. Modern museums hold these objects behind glass, but the stories written in private hands remain messy and human. If you listen carefully to the walls, you'll not only hear the prayers, you'll hear voices bargaining, swearing oaths, plotting futures. Tombs keep secrets, but secrets have a way of speaking back. We only need the right light to read them. This is Epoch Lane, we bring the past into the present, carefully, honestly, and humanly.